Guess who? The Guess Who? The Guess Who with Jacob Gibbs. Sit back, relax, and enjoy. Now let's start the show.
So today I'm here with Patrick Katdaddy Watson.
Bang.
On this anniversary of 9/11.
Wow.
Yeah, 23 years, dude.
It's something we can't never forget, but we hate to remember too because it's still a big sore spot.
It is, man. And so many unanswered questions, and I mean it's
23 years later.
Oh yeah,
Still that many. Why don't we do a Dateline for 2020?
No kidding, yeah. It was like nobody covered it whatsoever.
Exactly.
Really, besides, I mean, all the news outlets, but it never got investigated.
Yeah,
it's kind of.
it was just like last night. Curious. I don't want to talk about it, but was there anybody from Arkansas there last night in the audience? Did you see anybody,
dude,
from Arkansas?
Out of 382 million people,
Yeah.
that's our two picks. We're in bad shape, brother.
That are really, really good shape because like I go down to Walmart and buy my cereal, nowadays Dollar General, and I like cereal. Cereal's important, but you count Jockula or Fruity Pebbles?
Is that your cereal?
No, that's what I saw last night.
My son love Fruity Pebbles, but anywhere they spill them, they stick, dude. You almost gotta have a scraper just to get them off the counter. Or anything.
And I throw them I teach other kids to throw the Fruity Pebble, the wet ones. Throw them at another kid. I've seen other kids with Fruity Pebbles stuck to them.
Fruity Pebble War.
Yeah.
That would have been a fun game.
Yeah.
We used to have the little fruit snacks. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh yeah.
And we'd have those at they'd be in the snack room or whatever. Well, I would just take half the bag, put it in my mouth, kind of while I'm pull them out, and throw them and stick them to the ceiling. Do you remember?
Oh my gosh. I think you're the reason we have cameras.
Yes.
And no more of that candy in the snack room. We had basic snacks. It was like Little Debbie. It's still Little Debbie today. Little Debbie's an icon.
Yes, it is. Do they sell those individually? They start?
Dollar General has everything. And I don't know if we ship it to China in bulk, Little Debbie, and then China ships it back in broke down Little Debbie. I don't know.
It's weird, ain't it?
Yeah, I just
Thinking
eat
about
Starburst.
Dude.
Pink's your favorite.
Yes. The kids do not like it when I get their Starburst.
I'm going through all my kids' candy at every holiday because my grandchildren, because it's safety.
Oh, you got to. Yeah. You got to try one of everything.
Yep, sour, chocolate, repeat.
There you go.
And I drop them off to all the big churches. Churches.
Oh, dude, trunk or treats.
They're wearing out the devil's night. They're wearing it out with candy.
Dude, I'm telling you. Yeah, there's all the trunk or treats. Do you remember used to, man? They would have these harvest carnivals. Do you remember those?
Well, yeah, but it was back to when the school raised money for something. And then
I love those. You had the Dunkin' booth. You know what I'm talking about?
I just like going there because you had the hopes of sneaking around and smooching on a girl. It's like an elementary, senior in high school, anything to get involved. In any rural area, your parents had to bring you back to school after work, and that was my daddy was a coal miner.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah, so carrying me back from Arkadelphia to Cold Springs for a football practice or anything, it better be good.
Right.
So I was like, they got a cakewalk daddy. They got a cakewalk daddy.
They got any of that red velvet?
Oh yeah. But Baptist is there. I didn't tell a lot of coal miners there's Baptists and Methodists there. And they serious when it comes to cake walking. And they want to win their own cake that they baked.
That means it's good.
Yeah, but if I ever run one in the future, and I know Dan Strickland's doing something crazy, we should go. Oh, because we got a mutual friend.
Oh, because he's doing October.
He's doing
a Halloween thing.
He's doing some kind of huge, crazy thing, and it's his passion. So
you're invited to his party thing, right?
Yeah,
I think I am too. Yeah.
I heard it's like that Night of the Nutcracker, like that movie.
Yeah, I'm gonna dress up as something really like not scary. I'm gonna be like the oddball. I may come in as like the Oscar Mayer Wiener or something.
I think you might not be safe there though. I think it's like Dan's got some serious evil fright night planned. Serious.
You can't scare me, dude.
Oh no.
Around that guy for
I'm gonna go by Ross. We got like 11 ghosts at the Stashhouse.
Really?
Yeah, but I don't tell people about it. It's a restaurant, a distillery. I'm not gonna be like, hey, we got 11 ghosts. Come out and get a good cheeseburger.
Do you ever leave one seat open? Just kind of leave them, just kind of like they're like it's a party of 4, and they're like, yeah, we just need to be seated for 4, and you go over there and you sit them down with all their chairs, and you add one extra and say, do you mind if she sits with y'all?
No, but when you first said seat, I thought you meant like did the ghost leave the seat up in the bathroom? I didn't know. I know you're talking about like a seat.
Hey, I got one of them ghosts here.
That's
my
crazy.
wife blames me for that crap. I ain't doing it. Dude, I'm telling you.
Well, and I usually just go through my house. Like, I'm bored. There's 2 things you can do at your house. You're bored. Come home from work, hide the remote. Hide it better than it's ever been hid. Hide the TV remote. Part 2, go open every door in the house. Exit, the inside, outside.
Yeah.
Turn every light on, even the closets. Raise all the commode seats and turn the water on just a little bit, dripping. Then go tell your wife, we got problems.
My wife would be like, how much gas you got? We about to burn this house.
Well, that's me now. Like it's so funny because being in the military, I don't know where it's at, but it was so funny because we had haunted house,
Yeah.
at 99-cent Bic lighter. I'm like, oh yeah. What you gonna haunt now, big guy? I'd burn your house. If you haunting the house and telling me to get out, I'm burning your house.
Oh, I don't blame you, dude. Yeah.
So you got to tell everybody, where am I from, man? People out there just don't know Katdaddy.
Okay. All right, so this is Katdaddy. He owns the Stashhouse. Do you still have Katdaddy Bbq?
Yes, absolutely. We got Katdaddys Bbq and Grill Company down by Smith Lake.
Okay.
We got the Stashhouse up in Good Hope. Been doing that for 3 years. Me and my family just launched our Alabama distillery company, so we got our moonshines out.
Right. Yeah, and y'all are running.
We're running and rolling and adding things, but it's so complex with us because our family just wants to do something bigger.
Mm-hmm.
We have 6 acres of property there with that building. 76-year-old true to Cullman, Alabama cotton gin. So, we want to really engage the community as we go forward.
Right.
And talk to people about preserving it. A lady come in the other day, said, it'd be a great place for a coffee shop. I'm like, put one here. I'll buy a coffee.
Oh, yeah.
But we can't do any more than what we're doing.
Right, yeah.
And a phenomenal staff.
You have a phenomenal staff.
Oh,
that's something hard to find nowadays.
Well,
nobody wants to work.
And what's most barren on the good staff is the staff next to the staff. So you're like, your good staff is wore out, and they're like, we need some help. And I'm like, it's not my fault that Joe, John, Mark, and Luke didn't show up. We all had them scheduled. Was they riding together? I don't know.
Oh yeah.
So, but and even that, we're scaling it down to where it's more interactive.
That's a sweet building, dude. I mean, that thing is nice.
Well, and when you see that,
it's an eye catcher for sure.
Well, and it's just like I watched the other day. The city, I believe they're doing something different with the museum, and really that museum was too small. And then, to be honest with you, my greatest hopes in the future is to see the city and the county do something together. Mm-hmm. So it would finally squash everybody that goes, we're always doing something for the city, we ain't doing nothing for the county, we're always doing something for the county. I think a lot of us is just talking about some stuff we don't know about.
Right.
I mean, because a lot of times when I talk to my friends and people I grew up with that's in different offices and stuff, it's different when you're in there.
Yeah,
You know, what you can do and what you can't do, and we're just out here trying to all figure it out. You know, like a cyber
We're
truck.
behind closed doors, kind of.
Yeah, I feel bad because I don't have a cyber truck. Get it? I got Chevy trucks. Chevy.
Sam Roberts would follow us around if we had that damn cyber truck, dude.
Well, you know, I had an episode that social outness. I'm 54 and I've never been arrested in America until I got arrested in America. And I'd been arrested 5 times overseas, 3 times in the same country. Whew, Hong Kong was rough on me.
Oh, dude.
But I was young, I was military, I was traveling, I was rambunctious. But like I said, I got arrested up here, and it was amazing because, you know, I'd never been arrested. I got arrested for having my own prescription pills. I mean, everybody's good though. Sheriff's Department, the deputies, the process, the DA. No, I got nothing to say about nobody. And I was famous on Cullman Daily. I had probably 600 comments. 700.
And everybody's gonna bash you, dude.
Well, and
That's just the way it is, man. It's the world we live in.
What was funny about me is I try to stay strong to where even if my flesh feels like I'm getting bashed, I have to dig down to where, okay, if I'm going to do anything back, if it doesn't edify, you know, what I believe in, if it doesn't lift up what I'm believing, what everybody knows me for being, I'm not going to do it. So I just suffer it, turn it over to him, let him handle it. Some of the posts were very funny because it's like, I hope he gets out by Friday. He's got the best cheeseburger in Cullman. So I was like, man, bang. But you know, it's kind of like, I wish we didn't have that always, because I don't like nothing that divides us. I just don't. And forget about me. I'm talking about if it's anybody. We had an incident in Fairview with Chris Gambrell as the principal. And that guy right there, I'd walk through fire for the Gambrell family.
I like them. They're very good folks.
And when you get a leader in our community that's a principal, and you know, always look for a good guy first.
Right, yeah.
We can work on everything else.
Who's gonna make my kids good people while they're in your hands?
Yeah, because that's one of the reasons I feel so comfortable about our school board now, the leadership now, the leadership we have in our county. Even the other day, I was talking to a good friend about our new DA, Champ Crocker, and it was amazing because, you know, I've been here my whole life, so I remember Wilson Blaylock. Thank God I never stood in front of him professionally. You get it, but it was time for, you know, it's just like we see things are changing and growing, and really, I just thank God for everybody we got because they're keeping things important. Matt Gentry, wow.
Matt Gentry's a good one, man.
Corey Harbison, the state rep.
I like Corey,
Garland Grozier. I mean, we're just Clem. Jeff Clemens. I've been dealing a lot with Trident ever since they.
Trident Marina.
Well, Jeff Talbert's on our tourism committee, and people don't know it, but man, Jeff's been in business together since 2015 because he owned up Trident at the same time we owned up Katdaddy's.
Is that the one that's building the golf course?
Yes,
This is in Cullman, Alabama, on Smith Lake, and they're fisting like.
Blow it up.
Yes, they are. It's going to be something else.
As of some of the posts I've seen, and I personally talked to Jeff, and he's just running because he is an incredible businessman. But as of now, it was like a $275 million development coming to our backyard. Now, one of the reasons I support it, just like the years I told you I worked for the Critters, thank God in our community, they provided a source of jobs.
Critters are good people, man.
And people in that community was able to work and still able to work that close to home. So it's kind of like
Cold Springs is kind of
like
in the middle
Bayleton.
of nowhere.
Get it?
Really, I mean, it really is. It's
Fairview and
a
then Cold
hidden
Springs.
gem.
Yeah,
It's a hidden gem.
Well, and it was that lake. You know, my daddy got kicked out of Ohio because he was a rambunctious young person. on the streets of Ohio. And back then, the judge said, "You're going to big boy jail. Get out of my state, or they could send you up for a Vietnam draft again." So he come to Alabama and fell in love with my redneck mother and had me. Well, I was raised on Smith Lake and motorcycles because my Ohio grandpa hunted and fished my daddy to death. So I skied, 1978, I skied from the dam to Big Bridge, 11 miles on an O'Brien, and there was no house on the left or the right.
Really?
And my dad was like, "Man, if I just knew how much this was worth, I'd get all of it." I'm like, "Whatever, old man, it's just me and you know." But I wouldn't go get no whooping, you know.
You're talking about from the dam to Big Bridge too. That's where you have water year round.
Yeah, it was an 11 mile, and it was like glass. We even skied in Lions
Because you got the big bluffs and all. Yeah, I fished over there a lot.
Oh, I love it. Well, and see, we would ski into the Lions Club way before the state made it that state boat launch.
Yeah.
Over there kind of by Windermere. Well, it was so funny. We skied up on a baptism, and we were just chasing the water. You know, we were just chasing that because down the Lions Club slope is like glass. So I would just lay that O'Brien over, and it was just wow.
Please tell me you sprayed them.
No, Dad seen them first in the boat. I think my Aunt Kim was with us, and they looked back at me. And I was good. Like, he didn't have to check on me. I was swimming or skiing, Daddy. It didn't matter. You know, I was just happy to be there. My mom was usually at work every other weekend. She worked at the hospital. But what was crazy was he got him with a wake because he just killed it. The boat flew up. It flew down.
Oh, yeah. Sometimes when you're trying to be a good Samaritan, you make it worse.
Well, it was actually a God thing because there was 27 there for the baptism service. There was only one being baptized, but my daddy baptized all 27.
Oh, really?
Yeah, with the wake boat, or not a wake boat, just cutting it off like Dad. He was like, and it went.
They should have some kind of warning out there.
Well, you know,
Smith Lake though, you'd have to be close to a flat or something because it's so deep. You know, like the
deepest part I think is 300 and something feet.
It's wild, man.
Yeah.
I mean, I hate using this as a reference, but anytime they lose somebody on Smith Lake, like somebody comes out of a boat or whatever, it could be months before they find them just because it's so deep.
Yeah, and murky.
Mm-hmm.
Now Corey Freeman, I forget what position he holds with the commission, but he's been working really hard for a lot of dive equipment, and I think they've made a lot of headway with like a submarine device, or like a Yeti cup, where they can just drop it and it looks where nothing else has been able to.
With the way the fishing like technology has went, you could. I almost think I could probably say there's a body for sure.
Well, and we had a lot of people down there. You would not believe the support. We just suffered in that community. Philip Beasley, that owns Hydro Hoist, one of his top hats for that company.
Yeah.
They install the thing that you put in your dock that gets your sea-doos and boats out of the water.
So it fills up with air. So
yes.
Kind of like those big tanks or whatever.
Well, his son, that was like one of his lead foremen, had an accident and just passed away maybe a month to 2 months.
That's right. I remember that. Yeah.
And
he fell off the dock, and it took a little while for them to find him too.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah. But his family in the community, anytime something like that happens, and even Senator Grudger was down there at the lake and had an accident.
Yeah, he did. He got hit with.
Yep, with another sea-doo. But the community and the family it's just like it always comes together to do whatever they can do for one another. It's kind of like all of our old both Tulsa, Arkadelphia, Bayleton, Fairview, Holly Pond. They come together. Yeah, a little different.
Yeah, it's a little bit.
Mayberry doesn't have cyber trucks.
Right.
And Sam. And mattresses. They didn't have mattresses in Mayberry. I love you, Sam. Casey's watching.
Oh yeah. How about where did the nickname Katdaddy come from?
Oh, that's
I was
easy.
wondering that myself. I was wondering too.
I gotta have a feeling that your wife was called Cat Mama or something.
Yes, Mama Cat.
Mama Cat. Okay, yeah.
You'd be like a sidekick with dyslexia. Get it? So I love those.
Because I was backwards.
Yeah. So names are hard to come up with, and I do not believe in anybody like Lucas. He can't give himself his own nickname.
Right. Yeah. No, you gotta earn it. Because if I had my own nickname, it'd be like Bruiser or something. They'd be like, dude, you don't want to mess with him. His nickname's Bruiser.
Yeah.
But I made it up.
No, I live that, okay, because I got a cool nickname, Katdaddy, right?
Yeah,
so
Katdaddy. Bang.
So, bang. And bang was funny. I had a couple people ask me the other day, and the Bible says you're not supposed to let the left hand know what the right hand does when you're casting alms before the Lord. So to me, bang means believe always, never give up.
I like that.
And then a lot of people has been kind of ostracized by the church and even the thought of God because of the way people treated them or they felt like they were treated. So it's just easier for me to minister and stuff like, okay, what do you want to call him? I'm going to call him God, okay? So this is what I believe, but I don't push him because it doesn't work if we do push him. So Katdaddy was basically Hannah. Me and Mama Cat had a couple things going in life. You know, we were happy, but one of our daughters had double dyslexia, Hannah, and she just didn't want to go to college. We got her out of the public school, got her Scottish Rite, but we themed Katdaddys Bbq and Grill Company for her, and it was just a blessing because the lake, you know, it's when the lake popped. Smith Lake on the Cullman County side.
There's people from all over the country that have places there.
And they've met us, and we've met them, and it's been like, I mean, we know so many people, and just blessings. I mean, I could just name off the people in the past 10 years, and even our staff loves it because they meet these people from all over America that chose to come to Cullman, Alabama.
I mean, it is like Smith Lake is just pretty.
Mm-hmm. Well, and you know, Shane Quick, Rock the South. You know, he just bought a lake house down there, and him and his family's. It's just so tranquil, it's so enjoyable down there.
Yeah.
Tony Crowder and them, you know, they.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of people that backwaters become their beautiful home. Yeah.
Well, you got to think too, though. Okay, so Cullman, I've always said this: we're a big town, small people. We really feel like I want to go here. If it's cheaper here, I'm not going to Walmart. I'll say that anywhere. Like, or if it's not even cheaper, when I used to fish, if Mary Carter had something, I bought from Mary Carter, whether it was 50 cents higher or whether it was $1.
Yeah.
I like going in there. They help me. You know what I'm saying? Like, where at Walmart, you'd walk back there and be like, golly, I wonder if they got any of these chatterbaits. Carl, can you go back there? You know what I'm saying? Can you go back to the fishing department? Well, he gets back there and he's normally working electronics. He has no idea what we're talking about. You know what I'm saying? But like,
and he's mad. Right. He's mad because someone said Carl. Yeah. And he's like, oh, no, you didn't.
He's like, I was trying to like find somebody a PS17 game. Mm-hmm. You know? They need my keys back.
Yeah. We'll just let somebody else take care of this.
It's really true, though.
I'm going to get crickets.
And see, dude, with the fishing, that's when it really taught me a lot of who's going to be open at 4 o'clock in the morning that's going to have this stuff set aside for me. You know what I mean?
Have you ever been to a crazy gas station down there past Big Bridge called Country Mall?
That's on 69, right?
No.
By Whitlaw?
No. You know, there's two ways. So you come from this way or you come from our way.
Right.
So our way, like I had Rooster's Corner, it was perfectly between the new 69 and the old 69.
Oh, really?
And I was like, this is weird. I sold that thing. It was kind of like the Twilight Zone to me. I gotta get out of here. And I still want that guy fired. You know, whoever, we're going to flood the lake in 66. Whoops, Bob, we got to build a new highway.
Oh, yeah.
And it's scrolled up too now. I don't know when the last time you've been to Dodge City.
It's been a while since I've been around where 69 goes and where. It's been a good while, actually.
Yeah, I don't blame you. I'm fixing to quit going over. There's too many white people over there. Place is saturated with white folks. Bremen. I was at Grandpa's grandparents' day at the school the other day. Me and Mom and Cat went. And I got 4 grandchildren. 3 of them's in school, and 1 of them wants to go. But it was like, we seen all the other grandparents, and it was just like, wow. You know, I'm glad I'm not in school anymore. I barely got out.
Dude.
Yeah, the only thing kept me out of college was high school. Yeah.
My dad told me, he said, you didn't try in high school. You gonna try in college? I think you just want a little bit of extra time to figure out what you want to do. You better be finding you a job, brother.
No, I'm with you. My daddy, in December of 1988, my dad said, what are you gonna do? Look came up. I'm gonna get a job in the coal mines. I'll be 4th generation coal miner. Pretty sure I'm gonna get me a trailer and a 4-wheel drive. Got 20 years worth of coal. I'm good.
Oh, yeah.
He goes, nope. He said, I'm not gonna put you in a box. I taught you not to be in a box, so go do it. So I got tanked up with a couple of friends and went and joined the Navy Special Forces. Come back and said, I hope I don't die, Dad. And he goes, well, damn, son, I hope you don't die either. So
how long was you in service?
Basically 5.5 years. I came home. Yeah.
So you went Desert Storm.
Desert Storm, Desert Shield. Yeah, we was in the first groups. One of the first groups was the 7th Fleet to go into Kuwait.
Yeah.
And Kuwait was really.
Now Desert Storm, what was? Don't think I'm not patriotic because
no, it's a.
But Desert Storm was Iraq too, right?
Yes, it was Kuwait. It was when Saddam was occupying Kuwait, and we went into Kuwait.
He was kind of going over in their territory.
Yeah, and we kind of went to Kuwait to help the Kuwaitians, whatever Kuwaitians, to kind of get.
That's about when we had balls. Because
Yeah,
we would stop this.
We call that testicular
Russia on
fortitude.
Ukraine, and we would also stop this Israel.
You better leave old Russia alone, though. I mean, I hate to say it. Israel, we need to help them out. You know, that's the foundation.
Sacred land.
But I did a little bit of training with Spetsnaz, and out of all the spec ops in the world, folk, and their leader, you better leave them folks alone. Vladimir, Putin, yeah, you better. And see, Trump had a working relationship with him.
He did.
The other administration, everybody can watch this guy on YouTube. He's definitely like somebody you pick up the phone and say, no, you're not.
Right.
You get it? And our president, which that's another thing. I heard that our current president wasn't going to run in November, but I didn't hear who was running things now.
Oh, I know. My wife made a very good point, and she's not political. But, like...
I can't spell political.
I know, me either. I'd spell it backwards, I'm dyslexic.
Lotipipa, pot.
But she made a very good point. Kamala's talking about all this stuff she's going to do. Vice President, I'll do this. You're the damn Vice President. Why ain't you doing that now? Or at least giving those suggestions. Because that puppet you've been under for how long?
Yeah.
You don't have a clue.
Well, and it shocked me too, because here's where I'm upset. We got health care under administration a couple years ago. I'm self-employed, so Obamacare. But I'm like, stage 4. Mr. President, did nobody carry you to the doctor? I mean, we skipped stage 1, stage 2, stage 3. How's the health care at the White House? How's the health care up there?
Obviously, it's not very good.
No.
If you can tell, that man was like out there from the beginning.
Yeah.
I thought about that. That's pretty interesting.
Yeah, but I mean, and I was a little worried about being a veteran because our commander-in-chief, we have several people that's serving, and it's hard to go somewhere unless you believe in who's sending you. And, we didn't have a problem deploying because we always felt comfortable.
I know with who was leading this. Yeah.
It's kind of like if you're goofing off at the football field at Holly Pond, you're not going to let the librarian come down there and tell you to get off the field, get back to class. Yeah. You're like, you better go get somebody a little bit more ranked, right? Unless you're married to the principal librarian, you better bounce.
You better go get the head lunchroom ladies.
And
ladies would tell you, by God.
No. Hey, I asked Deb Graves. I love me some lunchroom ladies.
Yeah, I do too.
Do you want another row? Yeah. You want some more potatoes? Yeah. You want another milk? Yeah. I love it. Fondest memory.
We had to pay like 12 cents extra or something for every scoop or something like that. Unless it was meat, and I think it was a quarter. I'm only kidding.
Me. I'm sitting there like, I remember one time we got in trouble. We would drink the milks and put them back in the cooler.
Oh, God.
When we were that.
Because you could fold them back.
Yeah.
The cartons.
Yeah.
Yes.
I was very good at
So
that.
cool.
But we got called.
So you could fold a note, a love note. You could fold that thing. Where
Origami.
There you go.
Origami. Early stages of origami, not stage 4. And I've seen the Notebook, Mr. President. But I'm going to watch that debate sometime or another. But, you know,
Get
Alabama's...
some popcorn, man.
It's
Kind
kind
of boring. I
of...
almost fell asleep.
Well, I hate to
Almost got
say
it.
this, but Alabamians and what we've already been under, we don't really care.
No.
If she gets it, we're okay.
I think we'll find a way to survive.
Yeah, I mean, we're pretty resilient in the South. The Southern man, woman, kids.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I see buck knives being toted in diapers all the time.
Oh, yeah.
Case knives, buck knives, and everybody can hunt and shoot and skin, and cyber trucks.
There you go. We got it. We got everything we need for the future.
Yeah, and lakes.
There was fishing something. Oh, this. I kind of mentioned something, but I wanted to kind of surprise you with it.
Okay, let's do it.
The space, whatever, space, what do you call it?
Man.
What
NASA?
they went up to? What, you know?
Rockets?
Your rocket. It went up, supposedly to the moon, right?
Who was on it?
I'm not sure, but the vehicle returned back to the world, and they're still up there.
Mm.
Can you imagine standing on the moon or wherever there was and just being like, "Did you put that in park?" Because you're seeing it roll off.
So you're saying that there's
There's two people.
missing astronauts, or
Mhm. There's 2 people that like remained up there or something.
but was that part of the mission?
I don't know. I just know that.
If
they
that
said-
was a mistake, there's gonna be like a
Yeah,
third
maybe.
shift clerk guy that's in all kind of damn trouble. Like, what?
I really did hear this. I swear.
Now the other day I heard this though, because somebody was saying, "How come an astronaut's carrying a pistol?"
That's weird. That is kind of strange.
I got something weirder than everything. Where's all the monkeys? You know, NASA sent a monkey up. I guess it was in the late 70s, early 80s. It was a monkey. Had an astronaut outfit and everything.
You're talking about. You was telling me it was in the orange, right?
Yeah, a chimpanzee, but he was an astronaut chimpanzee, and he was happy. He went up, he was smiling, they had pictures of him just like they would any other astronaut. But then he
So
just,
basically, the misread the space,
but he's gone. That monkey's gone.
and he should live alone.
Yeah, and I don't know. I'm gonna have to check into this thing about them being left on the moon, because just the other day,
You think they might be like? You think they might be like those like mice whenever they're like giving shots and stuff,
I'm
and they're
searching it up. You get
kind
me
of like a
serious
guinea
now.
pig. They're gonna see how long the monkey would last on the moon, or whoa! I just blew your mind with that.
I
one.
think those people up there, I think they went to colonize. It was two astronauts.
2 astronauts, yeah. But somebody was saying there's supposed to be a station or something up there. But I really did. I read that.
Dollar General. There's a Dollar General up there.
Somebody said Alexander Shannara sign was up there too, I think, or something like a billboard.
And Walmart. No,
It's gotta be.
not with 2 people.
There's a food truck. of
Did
some
you ever
kind.
hear this story? There was a ship went by. And it's a big old ship. Well, it's seen this island over here, and there was a fire on the island. Well, they go over there, and there's a guy, and he's like in the water, and he's not in the water, and there's 3 huts. 1 hut's on fire, and there's 2 more huts. Well, they get him out of the water and bring him back, CPR, and they're like, you okay, you okay? Yeah, thank God y'all seen the fire, you saved me. They said, well, is there anybody else on the island? He goes, no, it's just me. He goes, well, how come there's 3 huts? He said, well, that hut right there is my house, and that hut right there is where I go to church. And we said, what's that other hut? And he goes, well, that's where I used to go to church till I got mad at myself. I love that.
Ain't that about right, though, dude? Like the church was getting mad. I mean, I know what goes on, dude.
Well, and families too, you know. Hey, what are you doing? I'm just hanging out. Because one of these days, Grandpa said I can have this 1/4 acre over here in this 900-acre farm.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what are you doing? Well, I'm 76. What are you doing? Well, I'm just waiting on Grandpa to give me that deed for that 1/8 of acre over there on
Go
that.
get you a job, brother.
Exactly.
And tell Papa.
Make your way. Hey, have you been watching this Steve Miller, Coach Steve Miller? I'm impressed with him.
Steve Miller, where's he at?
He's in Cullman and he's doing like he's a coach and he's a retired educator from Cullman, but he's also doing like coaching and mentoring, you know, just positive and move ahead. And
Young people need that, man.
Listen, if you watch a couple of his stuff, it's just so positive you can't not get something from it.
Right.
And that's what drug me to him. And I started meeting a lot more people, you know, in his group that's just, you want it? Let's do it. Come on, wake up.
Some people's motivated, like.
Well, think about the other day, you had that podcast where you was talking about so many successful people.
Oh, dude.
Man, they chased it. They chased it and chased it and chased it. Yes, they you know, there's no telling how many times Shane Quick, you know, probably thought about throwing in the towel.
Before he made it?
Yeah, but and then you sit back now and it's like, darned if you do, darned if you don't. You know?
If he would have took that concert to Birmingham, people would have been complaining. They would have been saying, well, he's from Cullman, but he took that thing from that. You're not, there's one thing you will never be able to do. You know, there's two things, actually. You'll never figure out a woman, and you'll never please anybody.
No. No. Everybody.
Everybody's
You
got
said
that
you'll never
defensive-
please anybody. You can please a few people.
Oh, yeah, well, you know, like.
Everybody. Like 100 people in a room.
Right. Out of 100 people in the room, I'd say 30 of them's going to be like, you're an idiot.
Oh, yeah.
And 10 more people are going to be jealous that you were the one that thought of it.
Well, jealousy is, you know, I've never really understood that. It's kind of like I bought that property in Brushy Pond where we now have our home.
Mm-hmm.
And it was amazing because we bought it from an old family, Goodwin family, just lived in that town forever. And even went back to like when he heard a car, he knew whose car it was because that was the only person that had a car in that neighborhood. He said, we never knew we were poor till we left Brushy Pond.
Dude.
He got out in the world, he's like, whoa.
Mm-hmm.
Because at Brushy Pond, they had everything they needed. But then when they got out in the world, they seen all the things they wanted. Well, then they thought they were needy. It's kind of like the prodigal son.
Right.
You know, people that complain about Cullman, and I see that a lot, and they're not here anymore. Well, I bet I could come over there wherever you've moved to, and I bet I could complain us both back to Cullman, Alabama.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I'm not going to, you know, I see people all the time on, well, I moved from that town so many years ago. Okay, how's things working over there, Bob?
Right.
Now, you know, how's things? And I'm always scared to death anytime I see somebody up here that moved from Florida. I'm like, hold up. Why are you up here from Florida? I immediately
People start retiring, coming to Cullman, Alabama.
Yeah, but if you move
It
up here
could,
from
though,
Florida, yeah, but if you move, hurricanes now.
Yeah.
Now I know them old tornadoes, get it, naders? They'll jump up in the middle of the night and get you. And you can watch a hurricane for 2 weeks. Now that's some dedication. You ready to go? Nope. And it's like, I mean, they're still somewhere, they're watching it right now like, we're good.
Oh, yeah.
Run down and get me some of them donuts, Lucas.
Oh, yeah.
We got 2 more days. And I've seen them wipe it out. And then I've heard insurance.
A lot of those people, too, man, they stick it out. They get the warnings and all that kind of stuff, and that's the people you see on the roofs.
Yeah, but I'm just not going to be that guy. I'm not going to be that guy. And if Mama Cat ever runs me off, we've been married 33 years. This December will be 34.
Really?
If I come home after midnight, I smell like chicken fingers. You know, so she's good with that. But if she ran me off, I would never be the guy that holds the woman's dog at the gas station when you're going to vacation, and she's like, take the dog to poo-poo or pee-pee.
Yeah, over there.
I'm going to get some snacks.
Take it over that grass.
I would never be that guy. Lucas is with me. He's like, he's shaking his head hard. He's going hard, no. But Lucas, he'd be up there. You see one of them girls
he'd
up
be
there
there.
at Coleman? They got the little, Lucas, will you
Lord.
take my doggy to pee-pee at the
He'd be
Chevron?
like, hey, girl, I'm going to take the dog over here to the grass.
Yeah.
We
But I
get
see
me a
him.
Slim Jim and a Coca-Cola.
Yes, I go by the vacation. Every time we go driving to the beach, I look over and there's a gas station. There's somebody over there like,
Oh, I know, dude. And what kills me too.
you know, it's
is the
not his
people-
dog.
No, the people that walk like 4 dogs at a time. I'm like, oh, good God. I cannot imagine untying like the leashes on those untangled.
Cut him. What if we did like I jumped up there with my pocket knives, like cut him free. Tell the cops. I thought that. I didn't know they were walking them.
And every one of them, you know, this little scrappy one.
I shot collar. We got a shot collar for our dog. That's I'm into shot collars. Shot collars work.
Dude, I can beat my dog outside when I got her collar on her, like to keep her from jumping on people. She like just sits down. I mean, I'm talking like, and all I did is even beep her. The only thing I ever did was vibrate her. You know what I'm talking about? Like,
Oh, Hannah and Mama Cat couldn't do so good. So when they got their sheepadoodle, Duke, they started out on 6. Yeah.
it's pretty high, ain't it?
No, it's as high as you can go. They had it backwards.
Oh, God.
No, and it was like, let's watch him. He's walking toward the line. He went. And then
Send your dog into cardiac arrest.
it was 2.5 days later. Mama Cat Hannah goes, get those papers out. We better read those. And it was like, you're supposed to ease it into it. It was like, it was bad.
Oh my God.
You
But no,
always
it's
start off
you know,
small.
and we grew up that way. You know, we just now got breeds. When I grew up, there wasn't no breeds. It was a dog.
Oh yeah, it was just a mutt, and guess what? Those were the best dogs.
I know, and tough. I mean, like I'd see a dog and it's coughing. I'm like, you better eat some grass. Ain't nobody around here. We didn't even have vets, I don't think.
Dude, they eat grass too to get rid of worms, right?
They eat grass to do everything, whatever it did to make them live. And then if it died, we just go back to Walmart, get another dog. You get it? But then they come out with this breed and that breed, and then when you get them for your kids, you got to figure out those breeds and those different personalities. Like we had a blue heeler one time, had to get rid of them because we didn't have no cows.
Oh, dude, they'll bite the back of your legs, dude. I
And
had
chew
one
up
before,
furniture.
dude.
And
They
you-
get very frustrated. They're bored. They're bored if they're not working.
And I called it the Yellowstone moment. But if you look at Yellowstone, they didn't have no blue heelers.
Blue heelers are the Mexicans of dogs. Like they got to work. Not being cute. The Mexican people are the hardest workers. I'm talking about like, yeah, they'll get bored, man. If they
I was
got
just
something to
thinking,
do.
you know, Taco Bell it had a Chihuahua
There you go.
mascot, but you're thinking about a
Blue heeler
heeler.
for Taco Bell would be.
That'd be a agave healer.
That'd be a good idea. Actually.
We should put a blue heeler to, you know, they replaced the older people. That wasn't my hopes of retirement. I was going to retire and be the door greeter at Walmart till
They took it away, didn't they? Because they got that automatic stuff now where it
Yeah.
beeps or something.
I want to go there as like they'll pay me for half the time, but then half the time I'm just going to assist people.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what if I stood out front and said, "Go to Mary Carter's,
Yeah.
go down there."
Ever since door greeters, I've stole like $40 worth of stuff every time I went to Walmart. I just wait till like some kind of family looks like they're walking out, and I walk up beside them. And then when the beepers go off and then people come out, they always think it's them, but it's really, then they can't. I'm kidding. I never stole nothing in my life. Look, I got to get on this about the Stashhouse.
Let's do it.
This is interesting to me. The first distillery since 1915, right?
Yes. Now let me tell you something crazy.
I want to know how it works. I want to know what gave you the idea of the Stashhouse. I want to know the rundown because everybody I've talked to is like, that is a cool place.
It's crazy. So I was just chilling on that side of what I call the man-made river, I-65. And I had a guy approach me and he said, hey, well, it was actually a friend of a friend, P. Willie. He's the firework guy. And I met him at Katdaddy's and he's like, hey man, can I put a P. Willie thing in at Katdaddy's? And I'm like, yeah. And he's like, well, what do you want? And I'm like, damn, give me some fireworks when you're done. I don't know how this works, man. Put your thing in the yard and we'll do it. So he called me one day and said, hey, I got a friend that's wanting to open up a brewery and he has to have a restaurant to do it.
Yeah.
So I said, well, he'll have to come meet us down here because we're rolling. And no disrespect, we're interested, but he'll have to come down here and meet us. So he met us at Rooster's Corner. And we become a partner at that time. And I actually said, Ricky Bobby said, if you're not first, you're last. So if you get the distillery license, I'm in. You get it? Because we had Goat Island in town. And even though they're in the city kind of, and we're in Good Hope, so I'm theoretically the first federal licensed brewer also in Cullman County.
Really?
Because we have that license too. So I bought my partner
That's
out.
neat. That's history.
Yeah, and Alabama's got a very unique history. So after me and my family bought out my partner, we said, okay, do you want to be Katdaddy? Do you want to be Stashhouse Whiskey Company? What do you want to be?
So the Stashhouse, was that what it was already called? Or was
No. It was Elliot Morgan. He's the one that actually started the overall refurbishing. He built it out, I believe, for his daughter a wedding venue and then turned it into a wedding venue.
Right.
And I think he would have did good. It was just too early. Yeah. I mean, this was like 2013, 12, 15. Well, I'd started watching the property at that time. He'd flipped it over into the seafood joint, and I was really excited about that. And seafood is such a hard market because the consumer doesn't really know that there is no such thing as fresh seafood. Okay.
Yeah, not living here.
Well, if you get on Naked and Afraid, Lucas, you'll be able to eat some fresh seafood. But other than that, the moment it's caught, it goes on ice.
Right.
And that's the freezing.
It's preserved at some point.
Yeah, and people's like, this is in Cullman, it don't take fresh. Well, yeah, but no. But it was a hard thing, I think, that much business, and that's an amazing property down there. And like I said, we launched our 10 flavors of moonshine, and I knew how to cook moonshine from Arkadelphia, Alabama. I was actually...
Did you have like your own steel? Like just like a copper steel? Kind of like a...
When I was 8, no.
No?
Okay, so what happened to me was I was raised by my great-grandmother and my great-grandfather, Dixon and Rosie Sturt. Cool. But Rosie Sturt was a Pew, and she was tough. So she was kind of the man. So back then it was called hooch. The term moonshine was actually from the federal government. It was a term used for illegal distillation because they wanted prohibition. Now, in 1978, I simply watched my great-grandpa walk in the woods. I'm like, what's he doing? The next day, I was toting his sugar. So we'd go down to Dawson's Creek, we'd make the moonshine, and we wasn't like some of the hill people, like the foothills. And
yeah, I see some of those shows.
Well, even in Cullman, you have Old Corn Road, which these people up here would come down from the mountain and get the corn because they didn't have the flat lands to grow the crop. And see, like, it was a way of life, but it was so different than the way you see everything because we made it and then we literally stored it at a place, and then there was a bootlegger because the term bootlegger changed. Even like when I was a teenager, it meant, hey, old Joe Bob in that third mobile home on the right, you can go buy beer from him.
Oh yeah, somewhere where you were dry.
Yeah, I mean
that was made the trip.
Yeah. So to us, a bootlegger was the one that would get it to the speakeasies and stuff in the cities, and a lot of people don't know how famous Cullman. Even Cullman one time was part of Blount County. So before Cullman County was Cullman County, it was actually Blount County. And of course, then you have Banger Cave. You have all the different old politicians that we had that some people said, they might have been into moonshine and all.
Because I always heard was there a bar in Banker Cave?
Huge.
That's wild, man. Like getting electricity in there.
It was hidden, and it's down there by the rock quarry, and it's you can get lost down there, or you can get misplaced.
I don't go in caves, brother.
No, they call that spelunking, and I'm like, no, we're not going spelunking.
No, I'm not going no cave.
But what was crazy was, see, the Arkadelphia is all connected the back way because that's the furthest south until we hit Blount County and all those back roads. Well, like I said, I-65 is an incredible interstate because it goes from Mobile, Alabama, all the way to Chicago, Illinois, 827 miles. And
it's from one end to the other.
Well, it was a very famous moonshine route. Now, you understand, though, say like, if we get moonshine from here to Chicago back in the day, they're not selling it per bottle. They're buying a bottle of it, and then they're cutting it, but then they're selling it at 17 custom cocktails out of that one jar. So they're making a lot of money.
Yeah.
I even remember my great-grandpa.
That's a whole party, like having a good time.
Well, and it was like people didn't understand. Like, we would cook so much at one time to hide everything. And then we'd kick our mash down Dawson's Creek. So later on, you could catch drunk fish and eat them. And sometimes I felt bad about that. They're just swimming around.
Did they float up there?
Well, no, well, it is even like a buddy of mine down there. He's like, what do you do with your distiller syrup? And I said, well, we throw it away or whatever. He goes, man, I'll buy it. What are you going to do with it? Well, my dear, man. I'm like, you do know there's about 25% alcohol still in that mash.
Now, I've heard
you'll be shooting drunk deer.
Deers and stuff like.
Yes, but they'll be drunk. Like, imagine coming out of your house and deer's like, what's up? What's up, man? What you gonna do, man?
Go to pushing me and stuff.
Yeah. He's over here laid up against your work car. He's like, where's your gun?
How many horns you got, brother?
Yeah, because he's into that syrup. He's drinking. But we like I said, our families.
Apple too. If you had some apple moonshine,
and you have to have apple. We have 10 flavors.
I messed you up. I'm gonna write that down. 10 flavors because I did. I messed.
No, you didn't mess me up.
Okay.
But it's so funny. I mean, like I said, I talked to Brandon Deaver, and I was like, he's like, man, I want it. Just put it in a tote. I'll come get it. I'm like, Brandon, your deer will be drunk. They'll eat it, and they'll be like. And I said, you can mess up the rut. You can mess up all kind of things. God never intended for me to take this corn, make moonshine, and you get it and go bait your fields with it. No, even if it's legal.
It's like the deer got up in the shooting house and we sat down, cracked the beer open, and I shot him.
Or starts talking to you about his wife problems. Man, I seen her with that other buck last night.
Man, these does, dude.
They don't understand me, man. Does don't understand us, do they? I love seeing an old deer too, because that's a wise deer. Like he
oh my God,
he
how
ain't
many
fell.
shots has he dodged?
And he ain't fell for nobody's sin or like,
Yes.
oh look, that guy's dressed like a pine today. I don't know it's him. It's crazy. I wonder what the deer think, because we have we got some Starnses down there. Man, they live up on Bug Tussle. You go past Bug Tussle, which is actually Wilburn, but you go past Bug Tussle, just keep going. You're gonna jump over into Walker County that way, instead of that way. But there's some storms down there that whole family's like deer slayers.
Oh man,
Ronnie Starnes has killed like 3 or 4 deer off of his commode out the window.
really?
Shoot them right there off the commode, right there, 30-06, right there.
They say though, like the deer population per acre, it's crazy. It blow your mind, like how many there is.
I know, we love it. Seth Starnes, we love the deer jerky. We really
I
love
love some jerky. Good God Almighty, I can live off of jerky.
I think we should hunt everything, though. Alabama, if we had a spotted owl here, somebody'd shoot it.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd grill it or smoke it. I know what I'd definitely get some sauce to put on a spotted owl.
Oh yeah,
Because we got to get rid of it. If Lucas shot it, we've got to eat it. I told her,
they ain't even gonna be a feather left.
we nearly got in trouble one time. I had a martial arts student, and he's down at the house. I'm a black belt under the Triad system. Johnny Smith's our Kiyoshi, and then of course
Triad.
Daniel O'Brien. Yeah, it's a phenomenal school. I mean, it's just a lot of people don't know if you go up there now, the caliber of people you're going to be training with in that dojo, because they have that famous UFC Matt Hamill, a wrestler. He stopped by there and did a seminar not too long ago.
Yeah, there's a lot of tough people around here. There's a lot of tough camps. I mean,
Oh yeah, well Ray's always did well. Well, Ray Eccles and his sons always did
Christian.
well.
I got a picture of him.
Oh yeah, and a lot of people don't know. You know, Ray had passion. I remember early on, him and one of the black belts had a problem. Him and one of our black belts had a problem early on. But you know, him and Daniel, all them's like, no, you know, we're just not going to do that.
Right. Yeah.
You know, and I'm telling you, like Ray, I've worked with him. I've never trained with him, but we've trained with a lot of the same people. And
Ray's kind of like
it's a
Christian.
passion. Yeah.
Oh yeah, and Daniel.
Yes.
John. I went to school with Daniel and John, but like Christian, Ray, a lot of these people that could like really swell your eyes up are not.
No,
that's not the people you think they are.
Yeah, and that's not allowed. Like, and in a Christian, you know, he can get in so much trouble. Ray can get in so much trouble. We can all get in so much trouble. And then a lot of us has schools or camps. Like, I guarantee you, if I did anything today, Daniel O'Brien, even though I'm senpai to him, but he is. I've been training longer, but he has a higher rank.
Right.
And then he's he is our Shihan, and then Johnny Smith's our Kiyoshi.
Right.
So
good people.
And even with Ray, like Ray wouldn't permiss nothing bad that come out of his camp. He wouldn't, because
No, they wouldn't take like if Christian Eccles got mad at me at Rock South and he beat me up, like Ray would be pissed.
Oh yeah, no, and see, that's us. We have
You know,
to.
like,
Well,
that
there's
would
been-
never come up.
Well,
but I'm
there's
saying, you know,
there's been a
just-
couple times where we had to go and police our own, because Johnny had called me, and then the law would call Johnny, and we had one that was one of them was a unique individual. Johnny got the call and said, hey, one of your black belts tied this guy up with an extension cord and beat the fire out of him. Johnny's like, well, that doesn't sound like one of my students. We get down there and everything. Well, yeah, it was the guy that was beating up his mom, and he came home.
Oh, good God.
And the guy's beating up his mom, so he's like, not today.
Yeah.
And literally whipped him,
When it comes
tied
to
him.
mom now, you got to whoop somebody with a mom now, or at least try.
Yeah, well, or push mom out there and whoop her. Lie to mama. Mama, you ain't gonna believe what he said at school. You know, do something.
Oh yeah.
But it's, you know, a lot of people, martial artists too, we train so we don't fight. I know that's like backwards, but we, you know, people all the time like, I'm going to whoop you, I'm going to do this. I'm like, okay.
It's like, all right, dude, listen.
Yeah, because we really don't even get riled up unless you won't let me leave. Like if
Most
I
of
can't
the people
go
that
home,
are really rough too are the hardest ones to piss off.
yeah.
I mean, they're just like, okay, man, like you're gonna push the button one more time,
Yeah.
and it's gonna be bad.
I'll never
You know?
forget when we were training too. It was Triad and Shihan. Johnny Smith had such a phenomenal background training. At the time I started training with him, right when I got back from the military, I want to say 94, 95. He was number one in the nation in point fighting.
Oh yeah.
And that was like a speed thing. And you got to understand, that was a white boy that was going to Austin High School at the time. And there was no black athlete that could outrun him.
Oh yeah.
He was a fast phenom of, you know. And then over the years, back to the camp, we've had just phenomenal people train, and then they supported it. And it
I've
just
seen a lot of
grew.
people come out of there, man.
Well, and good people. I mean,
They're
there's
very, very good people. Respectful. You
Oh,
know,
yeah.
Just, yeah.
Well, and you wouldn't believe it, like Daniel. I mean, Daniel runs that thing like, if we want to do something that's involved with martial arts, we call Daniel. Daniel says yes or no.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. We literally don't. We listen.
Don't-
Yeah, and then when we all talk to Kiyoshi, it's usually about something different because that's what he's doing. And you know, he's huge too now. He has a crazy program called SSGT, Defensive Tactics, and it replaced a old PPCT that the cops used to use, but that one became ineffective.
Really?
Yeah, so Johnny Smith created a program called SSGT, and it's kind of crazy. You probably need to get him to talk about it because
I need to get him on, man.
you do.
I like Johnny.
He's mandated in like I think the state of Alabama, Mississippi, Louisiana, and the Panhandle of Florida. Like if you're going to be a police officer, you have to go through that SSGT program. That's how.
That's cool.
Well, and not only that is he did it with a passion. So first thing he created was a train the trainer. So it isn't like, he's got to keep going back and back to the same police. He goes in there and he'll take one of the officers they put up.
Right.
He'll get him trained up. Well, now he's training everybody else. And I have a son-in-law that's a police officer with the city, Aaron Brosman. And, and I believe in those guys just like veterans. I want them to have utmost training because they know, you never know what they're facing, man.
Dude, and you read so many stories where it's like, so-and-so and his wife are arguing, police showed up, opens fire. I mean, it's like, why? You know what I mean? These people have families to go home to, too. I mean, like, your problems, and you're bringing somebody else into the problem to try to settle it for y'all.
Mm-hmm.
And, yeah, it's nuts. Man.
Yeah, and
that's the scariest thing that a police officer goes to, too, is a domestic. Like a man and a woman, a wife and a husband or whatever fighting. Yeah. It's like...
We call that ground zero.
Yeah.
When like in the military, it's like when you show up on, you'll see somebody go, well, you okay? You experience PTSD. If he's not saying nothing and he's looking straight ahead, yeah, I think he is. And you got to understand, PTSD was just a term we gave it. You've had PTSD ever since the first caveman seen another caveman get eaten by a dinosaur.
And there's so many different things now. I know a lot of women that like got beat up and stuff, and they're like, I have PTSD. I almost don't think I could ever have a kid or marry or, and it's
psychological.
Sad.
Yeah. Well, and two, that was back to Johnny. He created a program called Equalizer, and one of his daughters teaches it, Lillian. And it's a phenomenal program because we learned through the years of training and everything, it was like the most traumatizing thing that could happen ever to a woman right next to miscarriage or that woman losing a child. If your wife or daughter,
very serious.
If they ever get sexually assaulted, that is like for everybody.
I always say molesting somebody or raping them is murder, but the victim has to live.
Yes. Well, and two,
just think about it. I mean, that would always be in the back of your mind. Your trust, your everything,
Well, and a lot of people we've saw, and like I said, Johnny broke the system down to where it could be the most up-to-date, accurate information. And a lot of people don't understand. When you go through one of those programs, it's like, it's sensible talks and training, like your wife. They go after the easiest target, the predator.
Right.
Yeah. That's the reason you have so many elderly that's raped. She's not a supermodel, but somebody thinks they can.
It's gullible. It's easy.
Get away with it.
Yeah.
Even a woman.
Hey, let me get the door for you.
Well, a woman with a small child, the predator is able to threaten the child, so the woman already gets into the parental and she forgets that. This is a predator. And you understand, if anybody ever says anything bad about Cullman, your proximity to the interstate, call Huntsville PD and ask them about Dollar Generals. Dollar General and Huntsville hate one another. because they call them, even the cops call them stop and rob. And they got into it with corporate because they're like, why do you put your cash register at the front door? Because they said there'll be someone stop, run in there, rob it. And they're a track star. They're gone.
If you can find anybody to like work the register, you might have to go in there and like get behind it and turn the key yourself.
Just or move it. Don't put it by the bathroom.
You know what I'm talking about though? Like there's only like one person that works in Dollar General. They're the stalker. They're the whatever. And you could just like come in there and I don't know. I'm not gonna give you any ideas. But you know how the self checkout? Do you know why Dollar General's is not running self checkouts?
Mm-mm.
You know they put all them in like they're nice, fancy, all that. Well, they have thousands of dollars stole from them monthly because if it ain't got that little strip on the back, they just throw it in their bag. Who's there to check them? Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I know, like, if we was to become bank robbers, we should rob Dollar Generals. Mm-hmm. I mean, imagine going...
You could go back there. You could come in. I'll wear a Dollar General vest.
No. At night. No, at night. No. I'm vibing what you're saying, but I've thought about this. We're gonna roll up at night, me, you, and Lucas. We're gonna get out one of them mini torches, and right there in the back, remove the panel, and we're gonna have a list: NyQuil, cigarettes, Sudafed. The high dollar.
Some saline. I gotta have some of that.
Okay.
No.
Yeah. Anything.
Chapsticks. I'm stealing every single chapstick.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm carrying like a little fanny pack to put those
Vicks.
in. Man.
I bet you target like 2 or 3 aisles.
I'm going chapstick aisle for sure.
No, I believe in that because that's right there with chloroseptic spray. I could probably get at least if chloroseptic spray at Walmart is $9. I bet I could get, like at a flea market, I bet I could get $5 all day long.
Oh, yeah.
For chloroseptic spray with the plastic on it.
And,
you're talking about your chapstick?
Dude, think
And
about
big
this.
lighters?
You take the lid off, you tell them you're going to sell it as chloroseptic, but then you're going to also, it's a refillable bottle to spray your kids if they're acting up or anything.
I love that. I love that.
It's a kid defensive spray.
But what do you think the highest ticketed item is in there?
Oh, in Dollar General?
Yeah. Single.
Some of the stuff they have behind the counter is not even as expensive as some of the stuff.
I'm telling you though, man, if you get a carton of cigarettes out there, because forget about jail and prison, but you could take a pack of cigarettes anywhere and sell them anywhere. Like, hey man,
oh yeah, let's roll through somewhere.
Stand by Busy Bee Cafe. Busy Bee Cafe. I'll sell cigarettes all day long. What's that guy doing? Selling cigarettes. Where'd he get them? I don't know.
He has them.
Yeah, he's got them. Thank you, Lucas. But don't worry about that. How many you want? You want some newies? Right, cool filter kings, baby. I'm keeping all these cowboy killers.
10 flavors.
10 flavors is amazing. We actually got 15 approved. We have a foundation, which is Dixon's Corn Whiskey.
Yeah, you gave me a bottle of this.
Yeah, that's amazing. That's
a jar. It's actually in a mason jar.
Well, and that's amazing too, though, because the federal government, like, we buy fifths because we're held to that. So in the old days, if they went by and they seen you having moonshine and it was in a quart jar, they would automatically know that it's illegal.
Really?
So when I bought 2 pallets of those, that's a 750 milliliter jar. Mm-hmm. So that's held to what's called a fifth. So it makes 5 of those to make a gallon versus 4 quarts to make a gallon. Wow. So they did that to better help. Now, Alabama's what's amazing. Everybody in Alabama, we went into Prohibition in 1915, which was 5 years earlier than the rest of America.
Really?
Yeah, so it was a huge story. Even the King of the Hill whiskey is what I call it, Jack Daniels, $9 billion last year in sales internationally. They had a distillery in Birmingham, Alabama, and Gadsden, Alabama, prior to 1915.
So they've been around a long, long time.
Yes, and see, Bone Dry was what was crazy because, like I said, our governor was vetoed. legislation took it to the outgoing governor, and he said, I'm not touching that. I mean, 1915, Alabama, we don't know what they were facing.
Oh, yeah.
Well, then the oncoming governor, legislation went back to him. He goes, hey, I just got here. I'm not doing that. Well, they vetoed him and put us into bone dry Alabama. And at that time was when all 67 counties, no alcohol. Now, believe it or not, the churches, preachers, it's in the bone dry story, and the moonshiners, hooch makers, was all working together because nobody wanted it on Main Street. They wanted to keep on the back roads.
Right, yeah.
Okay? So, me and
Not
my,
up there like flashy.
yes, and flavoring has been incredible. Now, I will give one thing to the Tennessee boys, Tennessee Old Smoky, Tennessee Shine Company, and Sugarlands.
Yeah, I've got into some of that before, man. I was like, where are we staying?
Well, and see, me and my family would go to Gatlinburg over the years to the mountains. In like 2012, we seen the first Old Smoky, and then now if you go there, it's all the way out to Sevierville.
Oh, yeah, that's a bunch. There's a bunch of
And
them.
they've challenged Old Smoky and those guys stayed in their lane, but they've really challenged the distillers in the spirit industry, even Crown Royal. Funniest thing with our 10 flavors, Crown Royal Blackberry came out at the same time our Bug Tussle Blackberry Moonshine come out.
Because I've heard about the Crown. I can't do like brown liquors, man. It's with moonshines and that. My blood pressure will go through the roof.
Yeah, that's the reason you have to go. Well, you know, last time we went to Gatlinburg, one of the people in our group was like, they got dabs over here. They got dabs. I'm like, what? And I look over there and there's pot plants and people over there doing that. And
That's right when
moonshine.
you come in there.
And
on
I'm
the
like,
left.
what?
Yeah, I've seen that.
Well, and I was a little confused in Cullman. Like, they got a place now in Cullman like that. But you know, they were trying to get medicinal, but then they didn't get medicinal yet. But now this other, whatever it is, popped up. And I ain't gonna lie, I'm gonna go over there. Go over there, go to Taco Bell. Go over there, go somewhere else, go over there, right? Until we figure it out.
Yeah, those.
Might send Sam and them over there. Coleman Daily. Go figure it out, Sam.
Okay, so out of the 10 flavors, 10 flavors, what's the number one flavor? What's your highest selling flavor?
I would have to say when it first
Top
came,
3. Let's just go top 2.
I want to say Bug Tussle Blackberry, the Dixon Corn, right there, the 100 proof. And then it's pretty toss up. I made some crazy beaver ones. I made like a happy beaver.
What is that? What kind
It's
of
like a
flavor?
honey flavor.
Oh.
And then I made an angry beaver. It's like a cinnamon flavor, like Fireball.
Yeah.
And we're currently working on a bipolar beaver. It's kind of
Really?
yeah, it's in the middle.
That'll be good.
It's kind of like when you come home from work.
Fireball's got good taste, man.
You come home
I wish
from work
I
though,
could
you
do
don't know if
that.
you're gonna have a happy beaver or angry beaver or a bipolar beaver. What are you shaking your head about, Lucas? He's
So
just,
you named your flavors. You named your flavors after real life
people
stuff.
Yeah, like we got Smith
You
like
having a shitty day? It's like, yeah. Well, let me go ahead and give you the mad beaver or the
Angry.
Angry. Yeah.
I'm actually working on a shirt right now called BTU, Bug Tussle University. It's like a technical college. It's home of the Angry Beavers. And really,
Please tell me a rooster's going to be the daggum mascot because you got so much chicken fighting that goes on there, dude.
Yeah, but I got news for you. Like, when I seen Bucky's coming to town, I'm like, yeah, they're going to do all the marketing and advertising. All I got to do is say beaver. So,
There you go.
if I ever get some money, I can advertise on the interstate. They'll think I'm Bucky's
Mm-hmm.
because I got 2 beavers. No, the bipolar beaver should be out by that time. You know, I don't know. It's like,
So how long after? Okay, let's just say tomorrow you go in and you make a flavor called the Gibster. What all does that have to go through before
Oh my gosh.
before you're able to put that on the shelf for somebody to try?
okay, so ABC's Alabama's a controlled state, so it's a 3-tier system. And as a manufacturer, I become a tied house. So I can make it in the back and I can sell it in the front. And then being a new person, ABC starts a CGPO program. So I'm currently in Cabin Fever, all their locations. I'm in SK Fixer, and I'm way down there at Pete's Package Store in Troy, Alabama.
Really?
Yes.
So Alabama, you make it that far.
Well, and they called me. I hate to say that, but all those customers called us because me and my family, it was just a storm for us to get the product out. And then, like I said, I couldn't do it without my staff. They got in there and helped me learn to cook and cut, and had so many people. And we're still growing to where we come up with more flavors. But we have Perfect Peach, Pineapple Express, Crazy Coconut. Now, when we were in the retail alcohol, it helped us see what the consumers were doing. So with our moonshines, we mimicked a lot of the flavors that was already in the retail market. Like the women were going crazy about that Malibu rum. So I made a Crazy Coconut moonshine that's, you know, they like that.
Oh yeah, imagine. What's the process? Okay, so you've got to have corn, you got to have what, alcohol, you got to have the flavoring.
Yeah, let's back way up. Let's back way up.
Okay, let's go for it. Like, I want to know like the distilling process. Like, do you bring in real fruit? Do you bring in?
Well, there's so much you can do, and you might even start out like a traditional way. Okay, and then you might wind up a market way, and then you got to understand there's so many people that will never be able to go from illegal to legal, just because you have to learn.
What is illegal? What's the percentage of alcohol illegal?
Well, it's funny because I just met a distiller today that his great grandpa was a illegal distiller in Puerto Rico. And believe it or not, if we went to Mexico tomorrow, because the word moonshine is just really the word for illegal distillation.
Yeah.
Now, how I got the nickname in
You're
the...
thinking like you got to buy that out of somebody's trunk at the gas station.
Well, yeah, and you know, we can get a lot of good deals at the trunk in the gas station.
Yeah, get the cherry out, light it on fire, it sparks. And
Well, I used to love going to that at that Hilltop, because I'd go to a '78 Impala. And the woman's trunk would be up, and I just like point. I don't know what that is, but looks like a Pop-Tart. Give me all those.
What is that? Sparkles in
Yeah, I'll eat it.
it.
I'll eat it, man. You gotta do it. You gotta live that flea market. I'll never forget though, they was buying roasted corn, and I showed my people like this corn technique. And all these other people was walking by, and they was like holding their corn up, and they was turning their head. I'm like, not my bunch, man.
I always get it from both ends.
Yeah, I want to take Lucas, and everybody think we're famous if Lucas just holds our corn.
Yes.
But then the next aisle,
He comes around behind you and twists it through your corn. Yeah.
yeah, but then the next row we'll like hold Lucas's corn, really mess him up. So
That'd be 2 ears.
So-
me and both of you.
yeah, so back in the day,
Two-story
like
corn.
Sugarland, you're basically your mash, your stew. So
Sugarland, we're talking about like what's in Gatlinburg too.
Yes.
Sugarland.
Okay.
Sugarland.
Sugarlands. So Sugarlands, and you can do this because anytime you do a mash, you're gonna make a wash. So old time days, you would have more of a corn because the sugar was very expensive, and you'd get caught with the sugar. But the corn is growing it for your eating, the farm, the
When you call
cows.
corn mash, what are you talking about there? With the
Well, we
mash?
want it. You flake it up, and you're gonna put your flake corn, your milled corn. You're gonna put it in some water, and then you're gonna pitch a yeast to it. Now, your yeast, when you're using the corn, your yeast is going to be through in there, and it's going to eat an enzyme out. And in corn, that enzyme is going to be starch. When it eats that starch out, the corn gives up the sugar.
Oh, really?
Okay,
So you're basically getting natural sugar.
yes, and really any time you mash anything, you can extract a sugar from it. Now, it might not be as much sugar as you need.
Right, but there is some sugar in the natural
Yes.
sugars.
Yes, and really your flavoring, you got your heads, your hearts, and your tails. So a lot of your moonshiners will save those tails nowadays to put back in your next wash because your flavors are in there.
What do you call a wash? What do we got? All right, so we're mashing. You've got corn. You've got.
Well, there's just so many processes. So like, say like a basic one's going to be sugar, corn, and water.
Right.
Now you're going to add sugar to go ahead and make sure your sugar content on your wash. So when you start off, you're mashing.
Right.
Okay, so now Lucas may run his still and take all of his mash and put it into his still. So now he's cooking his mash. I take the liquids out of my mash, so I'm just cooking my wash, which is basically sugar water.
Okay.
Because Sugarland simply opens their still, pours sugar in there, fills it with water, fires it up, and that does produce alcohol. That's what's called neutral grain spirits, pure grain alcohol.
So
Everclear.
sugar, does it get hot when it's getting boiled too? Because I guess it's kind of a thicker,
It's so weird.
thickens the liquid? Or
No, because I wish I'd paid more attention at Cold Springs, get it? And Celsius. So you're doing a pot boil and it's a closed pot. And the way I explain it best to everybody, it's your grandmother or your great-grandmother's pressure cooker.
Really?
That's all it is.
But it's just a big one.
It's a big one. Like I got Miss Lucy, she's 300 pounds, don't love nobody. That's my biggest still. I got a 300 gallon and I got a 20 gallon. A 20 gallon we just do for like, we want to test out recipes.
Right, yeah, so you're not wasting a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, because mine has passion, my family's passion. If we stay in it to win it, barbecue to bourbon, that's what we wanted to do. We want to go all the way to where, because me and her started together at Katdaddy's.
Right.
And I don't have any sons, so my heir is kind of one of my daughters.
Oh, yeah.
So, and she's a 26-year-old single mother of two. So, me having her on my team, she's the youngest female distillery owner in America.
Really? That's interesting.
Right here in Cullman, Alabama.
Right here in Cullman.
And
that goes back to there's a lot of
famous
people. Yeah.
Well, and our 11th flavor, I still can't say anything about it yet, but we got a very big award, and our 11th flavor is going to be a lemonade moonshine with a very special lady. Yeah, so yeah, we'll be bringing out Meemaw Ivy lemonade moonshine very soon with her permission.
How do you add? Okay, that's so awesome, dude. I mean that.
Wait till you see the papers, because ABC said we're not going to approve that. I'm like, well, what do we do? And I always say this: God blesses dumb people. Get it? So he says, I don't know.
I'm waiting on mine.
Yeah, he said, I don't know. Maybe you could write a letter, Katdaddy. And by the way, you got to take your name, Katdaddy, and because you can't have that on ABC paperwork. And I said, it's been there for 3 years. He goes, well, you got to change that. And no. So I said, okay, I'll write her a letter. So me and Hannah sat down and wrote her a nice letter, and it was just being honest. During Corona, she served Alabamians super well as being our governor, got us all back to work as quick as we could during the most chaotic stuff ever.
We don't go through that.
But it was us and 20 families between 2 restaurants. And if it wouldn't have been for her putting us back to work, we couldn't have worked, okay? And no bills stopped during Corona. People died, people suffered, but nothing, no bills stopped.
Right, yeah. I mean, the world's got to keep turning.
Keep turning. And we were, classified as essential. And I had a lot of good friends that was during Corona was still classified as non-essential. They'd call me up like, "Hey, how you making it?" And I'm like, "No, I'm barely making it, man. But you?" Because they own gyms, they own barber shops.
Oh yeah, it shut it all down.
Yeah, and then the federal government, PetSmart was deemed essential. But we had gyms and barbershops and beauty shops that was not. And I'm like, wait a minute. Whoa. I thought about robbing PetSmart. Like, I'll show y'all.
There was a lot of old people I seen walking around with the crazy hairdos.
Corona man. That's called the no wash look. I'm not washing.
They wasn't able to go in and get that half a gallon of white rain sprayed in on Monday so they could make it through Sunday.
I look like a gangster because I couldn't never stop. So I had to go out and get groceries and do whatever we did.
It was weird walking into a store and you had a mask on, gloves.
Mm-hmm. Well, you should have went with me though. I was in Birmingham and I just had my old Marlboro handkerchief and I just pull it up like I was fixing to go in there and rob the place. Because that was the only mask that fit me.
Right.
You know, and then remembering a mask. You know, where's my mask?
You get up to the door and you gotta open it. They go like,
And what was crazy too was it was even like when we made moonshine, it was like amazing because our federal license, we're one of 2,500 in America that has the federal distilling license, and the license is only good to cook at one spot. So during Corona, a lot of your distillers that was open, they closed and opened up and started making hand sanitizer. So our license,
the whiskey, it smelled like whiskey.
well,
It really did.
well, in our license, we can make fuel, we can make medical alcohol, or we can make consumable, but we can't do two at one time. Duh.
So
It's kind of like it's like yard darts. You know, yard darts don't work. You know, for a little while, you get it. But the 10 flavors were easy, so we've got our 11th coming out. We got a few more, but we're really happy with the ones we got. We want to go back and do a little bit more. We want to get out there more. We want to get more people in to experience the craft. I mean, one of the things we're going to be doing is doing a lot of certification programs, brewer programs, hopefully even working with some of the colleges. We believe in OJT, but at the same time, we'll be able to certify people wining, distilling, brewing. I mean, I can't wait to get in there and mess it up because mess it up to figure out how it works and how it's good. You know, it's pretty cool.
Do you? Is there a lot of? How many flavors have you been through where you're like, that's terrible?
No, any day you're tasting and flavoring and cutting, it's a rough day.
Can you go back and add more? Can you go back and add more of something like sugar or flavoring? Or
No, you're really limited on your sugar because you understand alcohol basically comes from sugar and water. So when you're doing that Celsius boil back to the still, you're trying to get your water vapors at a boil to where it's separating the sugar vapors, which is your alcohol vapors. You're trying to get those at a temperature so they're climbing up your witch's hat and then they're cutting over. So now you have like 2 or 3 gauges.
Yeah.
Like I said, it's changed over the years because you legal now. Like you can come to the Stashhouse and we could shut the door. We can cook whiskey all night long.
So is it a certain percentage though? Is there any like limits on the percentage of alcohol that's in like a jar or anything? Is there anything that's like too illegal for you to sell? Does that make sense?
No. Well, you got a cap, and like you get so high octane. Like we've cooked a batch before. Blue Flame is a product that Old Smoky has, and scientifically, well, scientifically that's correct. And when you light it, you'll see nothing but a blue flame. Well, now we was in there one night mashing and cooking and doing everything. And we ran some off, and everybody was like, "Oh, look, it's so weak, it ain't even on fire." Mine had, because we always turn the cap over and light it in the cap. Mine had what's called Pixie's Angels, so you could see no flame. That's how hot it was. And I had to pull back my beard just to light a cigarette. And everybody was like, "Wow," because you could. I mean, it would run your lawnmower. But that's not what the consumer drinks nowadays. Nowadays, the consumer is they want more, there's no more of that, you know.
Oh, yeah.
So, and it's a big difference between what you see.
A lot of people, I think, want more flavor than they do that.
Well, look at
something you can sip a glass of instead of a shot of. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and that's really, there's 2 arts. One art is to making the alcohol. Another art is to cutting it and then cutting it legally.
Yeah.
Because we've all seen with our kids like red dyes and stuff like that. So we use all natural flavors with our products, and it's kind of like our food at our establishments because we eat there. We're not going to eat bad stuff.
Right.
So
yeah,
and then if you ever see any spirits that has artificial flavoring, it's still legal flavoring that's been tested. We just choose to use the natural, spend a little bit more.
Natural's better.
It's always, and then see, there's several ways of flavoring. Some people say like, well, it's clear, but it tastes like pineapple. That's a process that's really too tedious to keep up with if you were going to make a lot of batches. And then people don't know, distiller to distiller, like 3 of the top 10 vodkas in the world have never distilled their own product. They buy it from another distillery, they bottle it and label it.
We put aristocrat on it and send it out.
Yeah.
I would love to know who owns that distillery, dude. I threw up over aristocrat so many times, dude. Growing up, it was like, I got $6. Well, I'll get you some aristocrat.
Yeah, we had a bad story with that in Arkadelphia. I had my grandpa, John D. He sure did like that stuff, and it was a ritual. So we would go pulpwooding, and during the summer, we would load the truck up in the heat of the day and carry it to the wood yard. And that made sense, right? Man, we'd stop by our Wayne's package store.
That's when Hayden was the only, or Warrior was the only thing left around here.
Yes. I was 12 years old to 14, and I would sit in there, and the older gentleman at the store would nod at me, and I'd literally go halfway down this aisle, get in the floor. And at that time, I thought my grandpa was the only man alive that drank aristocrat. I mean, it was like, what? And when he got home, he'd get drunk and he'd throw it away. Granny would throw it away, and he'd come around the house, he'd have another bottle. There's plastic half bottles everywhere. Arkadelphia, there was coonskin, ginseng, and aristocrat.
Well, like an underpass or an overpass, like in Birmingham, where it's got all the Wild Irish roads, you know.
Oh, it was terrible. I'll tell you something. You probably edit this or not, but we're going to film it. It's so funny. So our house burnt in Arkadelphia. I was a kid back, like I said. So now we're full-time living down there with kinfolk. That's what we did, you know. So I come home, and it was a tedious bus ride, man, 45 minutes. I was just hurting. My belly was rolling, you know, and I was like, strange place, strange house. And bus just like, get off there, you know. So I'm still not figuring out my grandma's house as far as living there. My mom, my dad. So I'm like, man, I gotta go to the bathroom. And it was a shotgun house, you know. So I was like, man. So I go over right around the house, and there's like a flower bed, but not. People in the country don't got flower beds, you know. It's just a place where flower beds should be, right?
There's like some old bar.
Yeah, like I've got old tractor equipment.
Look at that. That's beautiful. It's like, that's a weed.
So here's what I did. I did something. I was out of the work. You know, no one could see me. Plus, you're on County Road 5, Arkadelphia, Alabama. No one's going up down that road. I just went around there, and I'm like, man, I gotta go. So I jerked my old pants down, went right there. Well, I didn't do anything but just like flip a rock over it, like just hide it. You know, it's in the yeah. All right, so I get home. Well, my grandpa, aristocrat, John D, comes home, and he goes, "What are you doing, boy? What are you doing?" And I'm like, "Well, I had to go to the bathroom." "Well, right over here's a key. Key to the front door, son. Keep it on this rock." I'm like. So he had been drinking. Now, how I knew he was drinking is he had his false teeth was in, but they was upside down. So he had his little teeth on the top, and he had the big teeth on the bottom, and he was threatening me. And I couldn't really take up. He's like, "I'm gonna whoop you. I'm gonna do this. You know, count. I'm gonna whoop you." And I was just like, "Your teeth's in upside down. There's nothing you can do to me. Fix your teeth, then." Well, anyway. We go around the corner, and I'm like, "Please don't let that be that rock. That rock." Well, I went around there, and sure enough, he grabs that one side of it, flips it over, and right there next to this smashed accident is a shiny key. And I'm like,
some roly-polies running around, like some of those.
No, it was brand new. It was brand new. I just did it like 20, 30 minutes before he got there. Right? I'm like, I wish I could have waited.
Oh, yeah.
It was like a Harley Davidson, like a single. Anyway, he goes, "He's still drinking now. He's still, tipsy. He shouldn't have been driving." He goes, "Oh, don't you look at that." "Look at what, John D?" He said, "Somebody has went and pooped up under this rock." And I'm like, "That's impossible." What happened was someone pooped next to that rock and flipped it over. You get it? But that's a true story.
That is too good. I was thinking about one of those little fake rocks, like they actually make.
Yeah.
And you got that little slide, like looks like you're gonna put some batteries in there.
Oh no,
Yeah.
no! It was a flat creek rock key
rock on top.
But then I didn't know where the key was, and I'm like, oh, and I'm like, oh, and I just went away like I'm never looking under that rock, And then when he gets home, he's like, "There's a key around here under the rock." I'm like, oh man, knew I was busted. But that was so many things we did, as kids and growing up. Because even down there, I remember skinning and catching muskrats, coons, foxes, and then all of a sudden it got to where there was a middleman. And then I even remember the back room being.
What you do? Was you selling furs or anything?
My grandparents was.
Really?
Oh yeah, but muskrat they would cat nasty. That's a nasty out of stomach. But that was a fake mink.
Really?
So you would sell it, and these people would buy it. But then there became a middleman. You had to have a license. Well, it was the same with ginseng. We used to build ginseng. We'd go in February, and you go on the we call it the cool side of the mountain. So it's a shady area, and you look for the red bulbs. Well, those would kill you. But you would dig out the ginseng, you go to the back room and let the root dry out. You could sell it direct. Then there would come a time when you had to go through a middle guy.
That's interesting, man.
And that's one of the huge things. It was in medicine, man. Pharmaceuticals back in the old days. The Indians, a weeping willow bark. And even when I went to Hong Kong, you go by in Hong Kong, there'd be ginseng and a chicken boiling in a pot on the street. And they're like, "You want some soup?" And you're like, "Yeah." And they just give you the liquid. And you're like,
Is ginseng better like warmed up than it is?
No.
Because I've bought it before.
It's nasty. It's nasty.
Terrible.
Yeah, but and you understand, we eat now for taste. So back in the day, we only ate for fuel. So now it's always got to be.
This will fill you up. Like if you ordered a cheeseburger and you're like, "God, this sucks." They're gonna eat it.
Yeah,
And
MREs.
Next meal, that may be your only meal till tomorrow.
I remember we was in Desert Storm, and it was so funny. 7 days in a row, we was waiting. I kept bringing my people peanut butter and jelly every day, and they were mad. They were like psychologically just pissed off. Like, "Why do you keep doing this? I'm going tomorrow." I'm like, "No, you're not."
Should have thrown the leaf on a piece of bread.
But I just went back and forth every day. Peanut butter jelly, every damn day. Peanut butter jelly, every day. 7 days in a week.
Yeah.
What was funny is we was in a boat configuration. It was so funny. I went to bed because I was going to be green. So the commander said, "We're going to hit the beach, our bag, red, blue, amber, green." I'm like, I'm going to bed. I'm the last boat, man. I got it made. Then the chief said, "Anybody want to talk to me about their boat position after this meeting? Talk to us." Well, when I woke up to hit the beach, I seen the red boat. I was the only one that didn't stick out and talk to nobody. I was like, when I went to bed, I was like in the last boat. And he's like, "If anybody got a problem with your boat, talk to us." Well, everybody had a problem with the boat but me. So when I woke back up, I was in the first boat. And he said, "You got a problem with that?" I go, "Well, nah, I guess not. Everybody else is married." And I went to bed, I woke up, yeah. And when we hit the beach, it was so funny because I said, "Hey, Chief, how come this bulletproof vest I got on is green?" Yeah. What the hell? I'm like, "Well, Chief, everybody else is black." "Well, you always complain about something once." And it was like, I'm way away from Cold Springs. I mean, Kuwait, Desert Storm, whatever. I just took it off. And I said, "Chief, it says flak. It says flak jacket, Chief. Flak." "Well, we didn't have one your size, Watson." So I'm like, "Oh, this is terrible. This is terrible." So I started looking.
Like, okay, what size you wear?
Yeah, no, I looked at a couple
This
of
is a
Marines.
Braves jersey. You mind wearing it?
I told a Marine in the boat, I said, "I'm fixing to take your jacket. Here, you like green?" We mess with other military branches all the time. I love it. But
We appreciate your service. There.
Well, I appreciate all of them. I mean, we're at a 30% low right now. People think it's hard to find jobs, or you go. So
When the military is down, that's not good. I don't think.
across the board, 30%.
Really?
Even the Coast Guard sailors. And those guys got to be 6 foot, you know. In case the boat sinks, they can walk to the beach. We've been across the equator, you know. He like that. Lucas is like, that's funny. What are you going to do, Coast Guard? Coast Guard's got special forces called Colombians.
That's great.
I love it. No, it's like, we mess with them all the time. We were with the amphibs, so we was always doing stuff with the Marines, jarheads, and I love them. They're tough people. But
I love all military, man. It doesn't matter if you're in the Army or if you were
Air
front
Force.
lines or if you were, it doesn't matter.
We used to love
I
visiting.
military people.
We used to love visiting the Air Force Base because they had a contract with Burger King.
Really?
Oh yeah, anywhere you went, if you went to a Marine base or a Navy base, McDonald's guaranteed. But if you ever went to an Air Force base or an Army, Burger King.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Burger King burger's so much better than McDonald's.
Yeah, but
Then
it's,
we could get the Burger King Whopper Jr. with cheese and McDonald's fries. Boy, wouldn't that be a combo? Think about that.
well,
McDonald's fries are so good.
I know, but they're dangerous. It's kind of
Yeah,
like
they're dangerous because you can leave one in the floorboard of your truck and like 2 years later it's still down there and you can pick it up and eat it.
I ate one. You know it though. You know it ain't the fresh one. I thought I dropped a fresh one. And I ate a very old one. maybe even the guy that owned the truck before me, because it was.
really is that way though with their fries.
Well, have you seen the videos on their burgers?
I've seen a lot of stuff, man. It almost makes me.
It's like a
sick.
superhuman burger.
Oh yeah.
You can't.
Something.
But one time
You gotta have an iron gut to like.
One time, me and old Tony Crowder was running a concession with Pee Wee kids basketball down in Cold Springs, and it was funny because we cooked George Foreman, and we had
George Foreman grill.
yeah, and the best hot dogs and the concession. So as soon as you walked in at 8 o'clock, we got hot dogs cooking. Now they were Oscar Mayer beef,
Oh yeah.
and you could smell them. As soon as you walk in the gym, some parents be like, "Why don't you go to Jack's and get a biscuit? Why don't you buy a hot dog? Buy 2 hot dogs."
See, I'd rather eat lunch food than breakfast food any day.
Any day. Now, here's what's funny though. Old boy, he was in the tip-off club one time. He said, "Man, I got a good deal on some hot dogs. We made some money. I bought some good, 27 cents a pound for some weenies." I was like,
Really?
"What?" No. We had to borrow some one night, and the George Foreman wouldn't sear them. Like,
Oh really?
you could mash it down, you could hear like, psst, and you'd pick it up, and there was no marks. And I'm like, "Man, what kind of meat is this? 27 cents a pound."
That's weird.
No kidding.
That's
Yeah,
weird.
couldn't sear them. Now, I grew up eating red weenies. That was all there
Well, that was
was.
the best ones.
Ziggler.
Ryan or Ziggler.
Ziggler.
Yeah,
You could
yeah.
fish with them.
Yeah, you could fish with them. You could eat one while you're sitting on the bank.
When Grandma was mad at John D, he had to eat them raw.
Mm-hmm.
And then there was always a supper cooked if he had been right. But the supper was like one big pot of something, as much as you could eat, and cornbread.
Oh yeah.
And then breakfast was always really good. And then lunch was good because we took our leftover biscuits and you stuck like a tablespoon of peanut butter and wrapped it. Went to the deep freeze, got you 2 jugs of water that froze hard. As soon as you got to the woods, you set them in the sun so it would start thawing out.
Right. Yeah.
But those biscuits, it was so funny. The coach wouldn't let me play football because I missed training, spring training. I showed up like 40 pounds heavier, and I've been doing a peeler putwood. So that's a 9-inch in diameter, and we had to roll it up on the truck.
Oh, so you've been working out.
Oh, I was throwing people around in 10th grade. It's like, "You can't play." Whoa, where'd you come from? And Cold Springs was never that good in football. I mean, we're doing really well now,
Yeah.
but I think we had like the losingest team ever.
We had one of those at Holly Pond too one time, man. It was a bad deal.
Now we can run and we can do basketball. All that's some white, crazy basketball playing. And then also one day Holly Pond became like a nemesis. They had girl basketball against girl basketball. It's crazy.
Oh yeah, it's very good.
It's competitive though. I mean, I love it because to this day we love going to Wallace.
Oh, and watching like the county.
Yeah, we got our last daughter, Hayla. She's a big cross country runner and she's also a cheerleader. But we still to this day love going and watching all of the Cullman County championships.
Oh yeah, it's fun.
Even though you got bigger schools and
it's some
smaller
good
schools.
rivalry too, man.
Yeah, out of nowhere, but it's just like our little town. Like still to this day, somebody says they're from here. I'm like, what school? Because we try to connect the dots. You know, we always knew somebody.
Talking about when you talking about the George Foreman grill, have you ever heard their backstory on that? It's pretty interesting.
Maybe. Go ahead.
Okay, so whoever that company was, I can't remember. I went blank on that, but they called Hulk Hogan first. There was going to be a blender and the grill.
Wow.
Hulk Hogan was not home. He didn't answer the phone. They left him a message on his answer machine. Give us a call back. We're trying to figure this out. We're trying to, whatever they call George Foreman. George Foreman answers. They said, well, okay, well, what do you want? He said, with a grill. So then they call Hulk Hogan back, tell him, well, you got the blender. The blender sold like 10,000. The George Foreman grill sold millions.
Oh yeah, if I went to a flea market yard sale today, there's a leftover George Foreman, I'd buy it.
Dude, I'm telling you, back in the day too, man, there was almost endless on what you could do with that thing.
And now it scares me they got this air fryers.
Yeah, the air fryers, they're pretty cool, man.
No, wait a minute, stop. How do they work?
Okay, so you basically turn it on like you're in the oven.
No, internal, like.
Oh, it's just like a.
Yeah, but you're not seeing nothing.
There's basically like a sun that comes down there.
Like a mini sun.
Yeah, like a little mini sun that's kind of. Yeah, it's like. I don't know, but.
It's like a microwave.
It cooks fast too.
It cooks very fast. It scares me.
But it does.
McDonald's cooks fast. Like you can order it, and time you get up there, you're like, they're waiting on you.
Yeah, that's scary too.
What are you eating?
Yeah, those burgers, man, they might have already been done.
I know I ate some lettuce one time that fell off its taco at Taco Bell, and it was like over here by itself. And I like went, and ate it, and I was like, that's not lettuce. That's not lettuce.
Well, they got to keep it preserved for so long. There's probably so many additives and stuff, you know? They may be using human fertilizer on some of that stuff, like the lettuce and stuff or something like that.
Well, I'm just scared. Lettuce, human. Well, here's what happened. Like, you know, Haven, I got 4 daughters. Heavenly Jet, Haven, Shay Brosma, Hannah Lane McClendon, then Hayla Watson.
Mm-hmm.
So I got 4 daughters. Well, Heaven is a nurse. She works in Cullman Surgical Center. Haven is a nurse practitioner. Well, Mama Cat was going to nursing, and Wallace changed the program because it was like if you ever flunk out of the program, you have to start all the way back over in the program. But then it was like, you know, Wallace is a phenomenal nursing program, but Mama Cat was going through the clinicals and she was failing, and it's like, do you want to work or do you want to stay home? What do you want to do? Because she had been staying home raising the girls. I'd been working. Well, she went down to Birmingham and did clinicals. Well, there was a car wreck on 65, and it was a bad wreck. Well, the doctor is being mean to her because he already feels like, you know, you don't want to be a nurse. I'm going to put you through this. But she done call me. It's like, as soon as this is over, I'm not going to do this. I'm like, okay, baby. Well, long story short, she went in there, and that doctor down there at St. Vincent's, he's like, you got to go in there and do the vitals. You know, this guy was burnt in this car, and he had galls all over him for the leakage from the fire. Well, she has to go in there and do vitals. So she's got the clipboard. She goes in there. Well, as soon as she goes in there, he's got, oxygen. It's just crazy. Well, he goes, is my testicles black? Well, Mama Cat's like, I don't want to look at them. I don't want to see none of them, okay? And I don't want to see something that's burned up. I don't want to see that. Well, she's just like, you know, I'm going to ignore him. And maybe pain meds, he is kind of going in and out.
Yeah.
So she goes around to his ankle and pulls the sheet back just so she can touch this one part, you know, to check the pulse down there. And once again, he goes, is my testicles black? She's like, So she puts her clipboard down, she just pulls the blanket down a little bit, and it was amazing because where his blue jeans was and the belt was at, it had stopped the fire that had ate him up here.
Really?
Oh, it was crazy. Well, about that time,
Just kind of killed the flame, like you just.
yeah, it was like that this shirt might burn better than these jeans.
Right.
Well, what was crazy is Mama Cat's like, no, everything looks good, everything looks good. We started shaking his head. Well, she pulls his oxygen mask down. He goes, "Is my test results back?"
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that didn't happen. And she wished I would quit telling that story because I've had women come up and like hug her, like, oh, my poor man. And she's like, I wish he would quit telling that. That did not happen. But I was like, Kat, it's a dang good joke. Testicles black, test results back.
I like it, dude. I like it a lot.
Bang.
Talking about Michelob Ultras, I heard today, man, somebody asked me, because I was buying some Ultras, they said, do you blow on your hot Cheetos before you eat them? Oh my God. You know what I'm talking about? Like the hot Cheetos? Like I'm that big of a sissy because I'm drinking Michelob Ultra.
They said that to you?
Yeah.
Where's that at? Where's that at?
Oh, Marathon up 69.
We're going, Lucas. Get the truck.
Cameras.
Get the
We'll
Chevy.
beat somebody.
Get the Chevy. Pull around back.
All right, so look, we gotta start wrapping this thing up. But I want to know, okay, Katdaddys Bbq and the Stashhouse,
Alabama Distillery Company.
if you were gonna go there to eat, at each one, what is
The go-to.
yes?
Okay, so both places barbecue and grill, but I always say this because we have one steak. We only believe in one steak, it's ribeye. We have catfish that's amazing. We have some weird stuff that I came up with, like I do an Angry Beaver, Happy Beaver app. So my Happy Beaver is fried pineapple chunks with pickles.
See,
Now,
I love pickles.
who would
Have you
ever-
thought about pickles with moonshine?
Yeah,
Yeah, the pickle flavor.
yeah,
Dude,
Dylan.
I'm on it.
I got it. I've already got it. The formula and the label's approved, but I just got to do it.
Okay.
Back to the cooking.
Yes, I'm sorry. I get
I
some.
always say this. When's the last time you had a good burger? Because we get our burgers, they're 8 ounces, they're fresh, they're 80-20. We grill them up and it's stacked perfect and it's real. So a lot of people that come in our place, yeah, I mean, it isn't like,
I like a good burger.
yeah, like, is the steak good? The steak's great. Is the catfish good? Yeah, the barbecue, yeah, it's all good. But when you ask me my go-to, because there's just a lot of people, it's not real food anymore.
Right.
We've got some great restaurants in Cullman and even more coming, but the ma and pa flavor, like we have a simple thing at our place. You don't like it? Tell me. I'll go get you something else, because guess what? I'm going to eat your stuff when you're gone.
Oh, yeah.
What a great life. I had to eat 4 ribeyes last night. I'm so upset. Get it? We did do so much catering one time where we had prime rib like 6 weeks in a row. I called like 3 of my redneck friends, was like, we've got to fry some bologna. I need some bologna sandwiches so bad. Just like wedding, prime rib.
I gotta go
Wedding.
back to just something simple.
Yeah, prime rib. Prime
I like
rib.
the pimento cheese on there.
Yeah, no, I love that. I'll go to Baby Shark.
Cheese,
Yeah, but
that's-
I'll bust up a Baby Shark and stuff just for the finger foods.
Oh, I love some finger foods too.
They got some
When they got
amazing.
some of the green olives too, and they got like the crackers with the cheese, and they got that summer sausage. And
I mess and go. If I eat your stuff and I don't like it, I just throw it away and get me something else.
that's me too. Yeah, I'm gonna trial and error. I'm gonna come out to the Stashhouse. I'm gonna come out there.
I want
very
you to
soon.
bring everybody. We're gonna do a lot of big stuff out there. You watch, get it?
Yeah,
You watch.
I'm gonna be there, dude. I'm coming. I'm serious.
Come on.
Camera died.
I'm there or I'm real close by. We're what's called an active owner.
There you go. All right, look, I'm gonna be coming to see you soon, dude. Katdaddys Bbq. We got the Stashhouse. We got 10 flavors with more coming out.
And we'll lie to you. We'll tell you the truth. We'll help you to your car and we'll help you back.
There you go.
You can even stay the night at Good Hope.
There you go. Yeah. Everything you need right there.
Bang.
Dude, I appreciate you coming on. Man.
No, I appreciate it. I think we'll have many episodes. I just can't wait.
Yes.
We're gonna solve some problems.
There you go, world's problems.
Bang.
We'd be better than the two that's out there right now.
Oh my gosh.
Another night, another time. But I appreciate you. I appreciate your service and everything.
Hey, thank you, brother. It was a blessing. Like I said, you've been doing some amazing stuff. Grad Lucas is here. It's growing. It's blowing, and I'm just excited for Cullman and life.
Man, me too.
People they don't
the
understand,
podcast,
man. You're
that's
vertical,
what-
man.
Mm-hmm.
And if there's some people too, like even they come and they sit there. They would love and enjoy it because it's the voice.
Yeah.
You know, it's a voice.
Yeah, true.
Everybody should have a voice.
That's right. Yeah. We all should be able to vote. We should have a say in everything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We're on the same ground, brother.
Bang.
Bang.
Thank you for your service
All right.
and your moonshine.
Yep. Thank you for your service and your moonshine. And this is Katdaddy from the Stashhouse and also owns Katdaddys Bbq. Check them out. I'm going to put some links on here so you can follow them on Facebook and other things.
Tell them, make sure everybody knows Katdaddy loves you, bang, and God loves you.
Yeah.
Bang.
Katdaddy's a good one. Check him out.